again if you are coming back, which is great. Shocking, but great. So this is my second video. In my first one, I explained that I'm really trying to get back into reading. I used to be a huge reader, and then I kind of have fallen off recently, and I want to get back into it. So I started this to kind of kickstart me and have some accountability so I don't show up and be like, I did nothing. And it went okay. Yeah, I've only been doing this for like a week-ish. Also, there's a lot of both my windows are open because I'm in New York, so the radiators are on, but it's very warm outside right now, and so I'm dying of heat stroke, so I have all the windows open because I don't want to turn on my AC because I'm poor and I don't like how loud it is. So, yeah, so I wanted to talk about the books I did finish last week, which is great. I'll start with this one, Acts of Service. I fucking loved this book. Oh my god, did I love this book? I loved it so much that I called my friend after she was like almost practically asleep just to talk to her about it for like a good 15 minutes. And I was like, I know you're asleep almost, but I really need to talk about this book. I really, really liked it. I thought it was so interesting and like really I thought it asked a lot of questions, but it didn't have a lot of answers, which is I really appreciate. And I also just like I think that's how I write a little bit, and so I really liked it. Oh my god, my lighting is so weird because we're fine. It's fine. It looks so pink. It's fine. I really liked this book. I thought it was super good. Totally would recommend. It is a little bit like explicit. It's sexually explicit. It's a very sexual book. But I really, really liked it, and I thought it was really interesting about like the questions of what when like relationships are nebulous and they're always changing, and so like what is what does consent mean when the power dynamics are really unbalanced but everyone knows them and they're okay with that, and also just like yeah, I just thought it was super interesting. I really, really liked it. I think this is their first novel, her first novel, which I was like, work, bitch. Loved it, 10 out of 10. If I would have found this in college, I would have made it my whole personality. Big fucking fan. Um, yeah, in a more failing on my part, we got this one, The Bee Sting, which I mentioned in my last video, I think, that I have tried to read this a couple of times before. These are all library books, by the way, because I love the library and I'm poor. So those aren't mutually exclusive. I would love the library even if I was rich, but I'm not, so I'm really using it. I've checked this out from the library quite a few times, and I never end up finishing it or reading it. And this time I got farther than I ever have before, but I just realized like this is not for me right now. This is not for me right now, and that's totally okay. Maybe I'll read it in the future. But I had a weird combination of like I cared too much and too little about everyone. So like it's told by different perspectives. And I will say I read about 150 200 pages. So I like did really it's a honker. I did really I think give it a decent chance. But it just like it's told from different perspectives. So like the first perspective is a teenage girl. She's a teenage daughter of this family, and her friend she has a best friend, and it's her and her best friend, and they're besties, and they have been since they were kids. And then the friendship kind of gets toxic, and the girl starts going down a not a bad path. It's like really she's just going a little she's partying a lot, she's going a little wild, but she's like not studying, and her exams are coming up, and you know that it's like not going well, and also like it just, and so I just wanted to, like, I cared too much that I was like, oh my god, you're ruining your future, you're not going to pass these exams, and then you're not going to be able to get into college, and like all you want to do is get out, but like you can't. And it was like just really stressful for me. But also I was like, I am not attached to this story at all. So it was all the bad parts of me being incredibly stressed out for a character, but not, and like not wanting to read because I was like, oh my god, it's like a car crash, but I don't want to look. Versus like I wasn't attached enough to be like, how does she come out of it? Does she? Like I didn't care. So I am gonna return this and check it out at a later date. I also have I don't remember if I said previously, but I put a bunch of books on hold at the library, and you can request books to go on hold, and then they let you know when they're ready and you go pick them up. And I requested a ton at one time because I was watching a video of Jack Edwards, who was like doing some he was doing some book shit, but he was like reading the first sentence of books and then like rating them, and then also just talking. I watched some of his videos in general, and I was like, oh, so all these books sound great. So I was like putting a bunch on hold. And with holds, I feel like either you wait 2 years or 2 days. And this was 2 days, and I'm up to my fucking eyeballs in books right now. So I'm also like, this is huge, and I feel just like I'm like losing time with all the other books. And so I'm gonna return this and then just check it out at a later date. Give it another try when I have more patience for it. But I didn't this week. And that's okay. I'm telling myself. It's totally fine. Oh my god, another book I loved. I'm so late to the game and I know it. Is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I loved this book. I did cry, which is great. I love this book. I thought it was so great. And it reminded me of, oh my god, another book. That's over there. I didn't bring it because I forgot. Okay. This book, this book that I read like a month ago is really similar because this is about two cousins who make comic books together and like their life journey of being artists together and being people together. And this kind of reminded me of that, just in the way of like, it's about two friends who make video games together. Love it. I'm like I said, I'm so behind. Everyone has read this fucking book. I'm the coldest take that I really liked it because it was very popular. It still is. But yeah, it's about two friends who make video games together, and like it's a lot of it's just about relationships, like different types and different the ways in which platonic relationships and romantic relationships, and like also the depths of platonic relationships, and the way that like certain relationships, I feel so often that everything's a little bit binary, that like you're either platonic or you're romantic or you're colleagues or whatever. And this is like it really explores that there are some relationships that kind of are a mix of a lot of things, and also that are really rare to do that, and that also isn't any less than a romantic relationship, and that you can have like it. I just thought it was super interesting. I thought it was so great. Loved it. 10 out of 10 would super recommend. I thought it was so fun. So yeah, those are the books I read in the last week. I didn't finish The Beasting, but I read a decent amount, so I'm counting it. But yeah, so for the next week, I have so many library books. I stacked them all up, all the ones. Here is everything I have checked out. Oh my god, that's not even. Here are all the books I have to read. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great, actually. These were separate because I've already started them. And I'm not, the other ones I'm kind of just whichever one strikes my fancy. I will say I think that probably the next one after these two is gonna be Alone with You in the Ether. I just thought that sounded really great. And yeah. It says, is a contemporary love story like no other, exploring the nature of love, what it means to be unwell, and how to face the fractures of ourselves and still love as if we're not broken. I just thought that was really lovely. I don't know. I was looking at it yesterday and I was like, I think this is my next one. But before I read that one, I'm going to do The Crane Wife by C.J. Hauser. It's a collection of stories and it's a memoir of essays. I'm so sorry. But I'm really liking it. I think I'm not very far. Where? Apparently I didn't have a bookmark, like a dumb fuck. So that's super fun. But I really liked it. I really like the writing style is so fun. And also I haven't read a collection of something in a while. I have another one here that's like a collection of short things, and I was like, that'll be fun. So yeah, excited about this one. I think it'll be really fun, and it'll also be like a good pick it up and put it down, which will be really nice. And then super excited about this one, which is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I don't think I've read any James Baldwin yet. I can admit that because this is a safe place, not the internet, but me talking, it's fine. And I obviously have heard of him. He's like a very famous author and got everything. Advocate, and he's great, and he's very articulate in interviews and things, which I have read. I just don't think I've read any of his actual books. I'm so short in. I'm on page like 35 and I've cried twice already. It's just like his writing style I just think is so beautiful and like just so articulate and lovely. And he does something that I really love about books in general, which is like, honestly, it might be him who said this, but it might be someone else. I don't remember. A famous author said, like, you think that you are having a feeling that no one's ever had before, and then you read books and you realize that you're not alone, that there's so many people in the history of the world who felt exactly what you're feeling. And that's how I feel reading this, of just like the way he describes people and relationships are just so clear in a just incredibly heartbreaking way. And I'm really excited. And I'm also like, not that I'm rushing through any of these, but I really want to take my time reading this and like soak it in and really enjoy it, because I think it's going to be really thought provoking. So, super excited about this one. Yay. And yeah, so these are the two that I've already started. And then this one will probably be next, but who knows? The other ones that I'm going to read soon, I have Really Good Actually by Monica Heisey. And it's about, I think she's like, she's a divorcee at 29, and her marriage only lasted 608 days. And it's like it's like she's dating and she's back at it and all of that. And also it seems to be about someone who's like a fucking mess and being like, oh my god, I'm fine, which incredibly goddamn relatable. Am I right? Very, very excited about this one. I think it'll be really fun. And this is called Babel, which is like a fantasy based on the idea of the Tower of Babel, which I think will be really fun. So, I love fantasy shit. I'm down with it. So I'm excited about that. I have The Seven Moons of Mali Almeida. I'm not sure. If I'm pronouncing anything wrong, I'm sure I fucking am. Life is difficult. Really excited about this one. It's kind of fantasy mixed with a mystery, which is always fun. And also, I just think this cover is stunning, which is great. This is the other collection. It's a collection of short stories. It's called Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory, and it's by the creator of BoJack Horseman, which I did not watch. I couldn't get over that it was like a cartoon and everybody was like a half horse, half dog. Very close-minded me, whatever. Not for me. Not everything's for you. So, but I do know generally about it, and that it's really like dark and deep, I guess. So excited about this. I think it'll be fun. Not fun. I think it'll be dark, but fun. So yeah. Those are my. You'll probably see them in the next video because I will hopefully be reading them. And so I also have like two. I just got an email yesterday or something that I have like two more books to pick up from the library, and I'm like, no, I have so many. um, but yeah, that's it for this video. If anyone's watching these, hi, welcome, nice to see you. If I could, yeah, that's it. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next week.